What's going on, everybody? Today I want to take a couple minutes and make a video about why I think that Slayer is the key to escaping the mid game and getting into the late game. I'm sure when you've ever asked or seen anybody else ask about how to make money well in the game with, mid-level stats, people always say do Slayer. There's a lot of reasons for this and things that it does for you that really help your account progress to the next level. Some of those things being like money making, learning basic boss mechanics, and also the Slayer only bosses really help as you start to advance into doing raids and doing other high level content. Before we get started, I do have a link to my Discord in the description. Feel free to come and hang out inside of our community. Also, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, leave this video a like, subscribe to the channel, it really help the channel out. Once you get into the high 80s in Slayer, that's when you definitely start to actually make a decent amount of money doing it. That money is really crucial for buying the gear that you need, like pieces of bandos, everything else that you're going to need weapons-wise, like you can save up, eventually get a rapier and other things. So the money aspect of it is really nice, and there's certain tasks that are really good for money. A couple to highlight are like gargoyles, we're doing the Kraken task, which is a really easy and AFK-able task to do, which is nice, but also it does produce quite a bit of money. And then you also get great experience with the mage ones that you can do inside the catacombs, and other things that will just give you a lot of experience at once, really just to help you start to progress your account more towards an endgame content type of account. Slayer can definitely be really grindy, and this is why a lot of players would recommend leveling all of your combat stats through Slayer. Me personally, I did Nightmare Zone for something like Strength, and now that I'm getting close to being max melee, I really wish I would have just waited, and it would have been more profitable and my account would have been farther along for where I'm at now trying to complete my achievement diaries. So there's really never a too early time to start with Slayer, and it should be something that you start off quickly on and continue to progress in your account just to make your account better as you go. You will also find a lot of these Slayer tasks if you're just going for the Slayer experience and not taking the tasks and using them for bossing. You'll find that a lot of these are really AFK-able. And I don't recommend looking up a spreadsheet, because I did that once where I found the spreadsheet that showed the most efficient way to do Slayer. Don't play the game to just be completely efficient all the time. Find what tasks that you like doing or don't mind doing, and then use your skips for the tasks that you really just despise doing. And then there are some key block lists that you can get. I'll link in the description to those. I won't spend time on that in this video, but definitely check those out, because there are definitely tasks you don't want to get and you don't want to waste your points to skip. A key point in Slayer is also to make sure you're using the right gear setups, using the best equipment against that specific monster. I make a series of quick Slayer guides that I try to incorporate so you know how to do all these things. And there's also other Slayer guides that tell you the weaknesses, or you can just look it up on the wiki as well. So always research the monster the first time you're going to kill it, watch a video on it, check a guide out, and then see what works best against those monsters. Something else to even point out is that the new mobile updates even give you the Rune Light plugin where it shows how many monsters you have left in a Slayer task. So this is a really cool thing if I'm just laying in bed at night or have a task that doesn't require too much attention from me. I can just sit there and do it on my phone, and then with those new updates it really is a good way of doing Slayer, and it's not too bad or makes me feel like I'm not doing anything. So I definitely recommend, AFK tasks. Get up and do other things, whether you're doing it on your computer and walking away, or you're doing it on mobile as you're doing something else. There are also some other guides out there about the way that you should progress your gear. I'll be making a video on this in the future, but definitely research what you should use your GP on if you're a main account as far as the gear goes, because a lot of times, Proselyte is what I use right now mostly for most of my tasks. I probably spend a little bit more in GP on supplies than I should, but I enjoy doing it AFK, especially with the Call of Duty launch. I can just have it up on one monitor while I'm playing on the other. So just to find, again, what works for you and also how you enjoy doing them. You don't have to be an elitist here. You can definitely shape this skill to how you like to do things. And that really goes for the whole game, but especially for this video's purposes while you're doing Slayer. Mold that the way that you like doing it. You don't have to take what everybody else says to do. Again, as I stated before, I don't recommend looking up a spreadsheet, seeing the efficient way of doing things. I am going to attach a Google Drive link in this video. As I'm doing the tasks, I'll kind of mark them to show what I personally have blocked and also maybe what I've extended, because that's also important. Like Blood Velds is a huge one that now that you can canon those, extending that task, it's a lot of experience. And the GP is not that good, but the experience is really good. So just keep that in mind. I'm not telling you I'd recommend doing it this way, but this is the way that I do it. I'm just sharing my insight on how I do it. So let me know what you think of that. I'm sure people have differences of opinion on that as well. If this video did help you out at all, please give it a like. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber count by the end of the year. So make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video. I'm always open to critique and feedback as well. Just want to get better as making these videos. Thanks, guys.